Greetings and salutations. My name is... Wait a minute. Are you an Imperial agent? I think you're answering a question with another question in an attempt to confuse me. I think it's working. Only an Imperial agent would be so cunning, which is surprising because they're normally so stupid. Well, 2 can play that game, so can 3. Pretty much any number less than 12. Haven't you been paying attention to a word I've said? The Stormcloaks are my family. I had a father once, Thornvar the Nail. The way he talked, people used to say he took a hammer to the head, hence the name. Nobody says that about me. I'm nobody's nail. I'm the hammer. This dump? Are you out of your mind? I just sleep here, live here, and use the vegetable garden. No, this all belongs to someone else. Plants? You need to get your eyes checked. There's corn, artichokes, and that nightshade-looking thing over there is some kind of dwarven onion. Some plant mage. Probably wasn't a very good one either, using a stove for an alchemy table. I'll let him move back in. What's so surprising about it? I've got dignity frothing out of my tunic. And before you go there, I'm not talking about the stains. Or maybe I am. I'm a son of Skyrim. Nothing we ever say or do is wrong. Of course. Now, not officially, but I follow the one true king of Skyrim. Not that harlot widow, what's-her-face, General Tullius. What kind of name is that for a jarl? Or a woman? General. Sounds like something I'd name a store. Or the assortment of garbage that collects under my foot. Now you're just making things up. No ruler would call themselves fair. Not when the world isn't. Ulfric is no liar. He's about as unfair as a man can get. Some say he might even be Talos reborn, which is nonsense. Ulfric isn't the second coming of Talos. He is Talos. You heard me. Tiber Septim has been hiding ever since he faked his death in the 38th year of the Third Era. I can prove it. I was there. What? Have you been sticking fire salts up your ass? Well, you shouldn't. Sure, it feels good, but it'll give you the meanest rash. Not that that'll stop children from doing it. Children are the worst breed of fungus. I should know. I used to own one. You mean Talos? What about him? I never said that. You ought to get your eyes checked. I'm not a day over 20. What happened is, I got my hand on this thing. It's called an Elder Scroll. I used it to travel to another dimension, where they had invented time travel, and something called a centaur. I think it's like a minotaur with the head of a centurion. What? Then it's already begun. Right, so the Moon Elves sent me back to the dawn of the Third Era. It's there that I wrote this book about the mystery of Talara, whose story came to me in a dream. It's about a princess who lost her identity following a royal murder plot. And that's when I realized, to avoid assassination, Tiber Septim was secretly living in the Imperial City as a prostitute named China. better believe it. They live on the sun, the moons, and even inside you. Ever have a sore throat? That's elves taking root like a creep cluster. Elves can live in any climate, on account they aren't actually elves, but shades. Yep, they're the ones who taught Tiber Septim the art of shape-shifting. Not through illusion, mind you, but magic. What a bunch of bullhorker. Not even a shapeshifter can be in two places at once. Alduin is more likely one of the Uriels or Pelagiuses. But vampires are. That's right. Ulfric Stormcloak is actually Tiber Septim, a shape-shifting vampire. Remember that the next time you visit the Palace of the Kings. Right. It's there. It's about it. And that's when I realized, to avoid assassination, Tiber Septim was secretly living in the Imperial City as a prostitute named Gina. Just like the real Gina isn't actually the Jarl of Windhelm. She's actually the first Emperor of Tamriel. I know it's hard to believe, but it makes a lot more sense when you account for the fact that Tiber Septim is a shapeshifter.
And blow their cover. You really are bad at this.
But remember that the next time you... I send letters to the false queen, Jarl Tullius. Scathing missives that mock her figure, and the vast emptiness of her pink palace. And trust such an important message to an amateur? Never. The letter stays in my pocket until I can find an official courier. Well, that's the thing. He never existed. Of course, some people say he was seduced away by dark elves. What a bunch of chicken feathers. Just another thing dreamt up by mages who need courage spells to confront the fact they're all miserable failures. Got what you needed, did you, you Imperial agent? Too bad for you, the Moon Elves taught me a spell that will erase your memory. All I have to do is look into your eyes and wait for it. Wait for it. There!
What was that?